If you're like me, chances are you spend a lot of your time on social media. And the chances are that most of that time will be spent creating content to market your business, ultimately to get customers, to get cash in the bank, and to live the life that you want to live. And you might feel a little bit like if you're not posting the highest quality videos and the best produced content on the internet, you might be growing a little bit slower. But you'll be glad to know that you have been taught the wrong stuff. So I'm going to head into the studio, which is like a kilometre away, to teach you how to get customers from your content without having to post every single day. And that means that you can spend time feeling confident that the videos you do create are actually going to get you customers and the results that you want. So let's go to the office. So the way that I see it is kind of like this. You could now spend days and days and days creating and posting and creating and posting and creating and posting content on the internet and waiting for those likes and shares and comments and views and new followers to jump into your account. Or you could spend your time creating videos that are simple to create, that don't take you as long to produce, so you actually save a lot of hours and work harder and smarter for your business. But Jack, wouldn't doing less in my videos and spending less time on my content actually work less harder for my business? No. I'm going to challenge your thinking a little bit here and say that you can now spend the next couple of days or the next couple of hours creating one piece of content that for the next couple of years will continue to generate you customers. And if you're now curious about, well, how do I do that, Jack? Well, this is what this video is all about. And before we dive in, if you do enjoy today's video, you can click some links down below that will take you to a couple of different free or paid things in terms of working with me in my membership community to help you create better videos for your business. Check them out. Links will be in the description. Let's dive in. I'm going to introduce you to a term that might change your life, which is VSL, which stands for Video Sales Letter. Recently, I built a new accelerator called the LinkedIn Video Accelerator that I hosted with inside my community so that my members can create better LinkedIn videos, generate more customers for their business without all the stress, right? Rather than doing what most people do, which is they'll create social content online, they will rave about it, they'll try and sell on social organically to an audience that aren't ready to purchase, I created what's called a VSL on a landing page that allows me to squeeze people from my social channels into becoming paying members of my community. This is the video that I included on this landing page as a representation of what a VSL actually is. You didn't land here by accident. You're here because you're doing everything that you can to market and grow your business, and you know that content is the missing piece of the puzzle to help you get there. I use this exact system all the time to generate customers for my business, and I would argue, especially in the last couple of years, I've actually posted less content than when I was first getting into business and building my personal brand. So all of these gurus going, oh, you need to post every day and you need to get on Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and YouTube. Just ignore them. Here's an example of another VSL that I've created. By the end of this free workshop, you will literally walk away with a finished video ready to post on the internet. All I ask is that you just actively get stuck in as we progress. And here is a final example of a VSL that I created for the membership page in my community. As LinkedIn's new algorithm comes into play and they start to incentivize video creators on this platform, 2026 is the year to go hard or go home. Very rarely do I now do sales calls for like low, mid-ticket offers. That's not because I devalue what I sell, it's just because in terms of my hourly rate, it's not worth jumping on a call for an hour to discuss getting someone on to pay me 80 quid a month. It just doesn't make sense. So I've built my business in a very lean way that allows customers to go through my social channels, to consume my VSLs, and to kind of pre-qualify and pre-convert themselves so that they give me money and become a member of my community. The reason that these work so well is because people don't want to jump on a call with you for half an hour and be sold to and be told why you're great at what you do. People don't give a fuck, mate, about you, your business, your products or services. They want their problem solved. And if they can have their problem solved without having to jump on a call with someone for an hour to pitch them, essentially, that's so convenient for them. They're really going to want to do that. So you're going to tell people who you are, what you do, and essentially how you can help in about 2 or 3 minutes. That's what a VSL is. Hi, I'm Jack. I run this type of business. It's a blah, 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 blah. I help people like this in this position with this pain or problem and this dream and desire. Here's who I've done it for already. Here's some transformations. Here's some examples. Here's some case studies. Here's what happens if you click this link below. Sign up. Let's work together. Happy days. That's all you need. So, because I'm a fucking genius, I'm actually going to show you how to do them yourself by drawing it on my whiteboard of truth. Come and follow me. So the next logical thing to run through is essentially where VSLs or visual sales letters actually sit in your marketing funnel. I'm going to draw it out on a whiteboard for you, okay? So see it as you have your socials up here. You've got the action that you want people to take that sits in the middle. And you've got your landing page, which is essentially where your VSL will sit. Social media on its own will not convert people to this bit. So what we need to do is essentially squeeze people or encourage people to take an action that leads people to your VSL, your landing page. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. The problem is a lot of people will just go straight from socials to sell which is just never going to happen. It's not impossible, it's just highly improbable. Instead, what we want to do is create social content that drives an action, such as click here to download this free thing, or click here to find out more information. We want to really steer people towards an action, which is going to be your landing page. Your landing page then has your VSL, your video sales letter here, that essentially gives people a bit of a rundown around what you do, how you help, what your prices are, case studies, testimonials, reviews. What's really important to remember with VSLs is they are not there for social media usage. They are there to put and host on a specific sales landing page. VSLs are targeted towards the 1% or your A players, the people that are ready to buy, that are warm, that are hot leads, and are ready to convert into paying customers through the cash that they pay you. That's how VSLs essentially work. So you want to go socials, get an action, get them to download something, have a link in your post that squeezes them to a landing page that has your VSL on, and it's a one and done style of approach. You don't have to do it again. You can put it up there. It's an evergreen piece of content and it will last the next couple of years. I've now had the privilege of working with over 500 clients in the last couple of years. And I would argue 90%, 95% just stick stuff out on social, throw it at a wall, see what sticks. If it doesn't work, they continue to post it. If it was that easy, don't you think people would just be sipping pina coladas in the Maldives somewhere because they've just got millions of pounds worth of business? It's not, it's fucking hard work. Hope is not a strategy that you can scale. Right? VSLs, funnels, emails, waitlists, creating demand, creating urgency, that is something that you can scale, okay? If you're not doing that, you're potentially leaving hundreds of leads on the table. And I know this because most of you will be getting views in your content. It's just not converting to customers. And this is probably why. Nobody cares about your offer. Nobody cares that I'm launching a new cohort next week, which is going to time date this video a little bit. So if it's not there in the link in the description, it's already happened. Nobody gives a fuck about my business. Nobody cares what I'm up to in my day. And because nobody cares, you have to guide people so that they don't take action passively and they take it intentionally. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of people that I think do it really, really well. And there's a direct correlation between why they are also successful. I'll share it on the whiteboard of truth, okay? So I want you to think about some of the most successful business owners that you see on the internet and essentially what they have in common. I'll throw in a few names on the board now. We have people like Justin Welsh, people like Laura Acosta, people like Alex Hormozy, even people like Chris Donnelly. Why? I might have spelled that wrong, I don't know. What do all of these people, Justin, Lara, Alex, and Chris, what do they have in common, okay? They have this system built out. They create social content that drives an action, in terms of a call to action at the end of their content, that drives people to a video sales letter on a landing page. The reason that they have become so successful is because they're not just hoping and posting and praying to the social media algorithms that their content finally generates them customers. They're actually squeezing people to take an action to go to their sales page where it has a video and it has content around what they do and what they sell and what their prices are and how they can help and who they've helped before to get people to purchase. Now, I know the next thing that you're going to ask, which is, well, Jack, how do I create a VSL? How do I create a video sales letter? I'm going to run it through you now. First things first is the hook. Number 2 is authority building. Number 3 is how can you help? And number 4, which I would argue is the most important step, is the next step, or the CTA. This right here is the process of creating a great VSL. Great hook, build authority within the first 20 to 30 seconds. How you can help, that should be really where the majority of your VSL content sits. And then at the end, right at the end of the video, you give them a next step to ideally purchase either a lower ticket or a mid-tier offer, not your full thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 happy days. I would say you can probably do all this within, I would say 2 to 3 minutes. I also wouldn't worry about the production quality of VSLs. I think you can film them on your phone. I think the simpler they are, the better. I've gone a little bit balls to the wall my own version because I've got some very good editors. Shout out you guys who are editing this video right now. But I actually think in reality, the simpler and the more convenient they are and the more digestible they are for a consumer to digest and consume, the better. That is how you essentially structure, create, what you need to include in a VSL, but I'm gonna give you a real world example so you can kind of go, okay, I kind of get where Jack's going with this, all right? So let's come up with the example of like a leadership coach. Let's say a leadership coach. Your hook or your problem stage could be, did you know that managing people is really stressful? Your authority building stage, the second stage of that VSL, is then, I know this better than anybody. I've spent the last 15 years working with over 500 different leaders within their organizations to help them become better cultural fits for their business or something like that. Then you come to step number 3, which is how you can help, which is all about, on the 15th of January, I'm hosting a free masterclass that teaches you how to train your internal leadership team to become better leaders within your organization to help grow your business and generate more sales or something like that. And then number 4, you have the next step, which is all about click down below, click this very specific link or take this very specific action, sign up to this thing, download this thing, here's my free thing, whatever it is, and tell people exactly what they need to do. Now, there's a big red gap here in this conversation, which is, Jack, all this sounds great, right? VSLs, how do I build them? How do I structure them? Sick, here's some examples of people that do it. But how do you actually get people to watch a VSL in the first place? Surely you've got to get people to this page. How do I do that? Let's say, for example, that you sell marketing services. We're going to roll with that. You sell marketing services, you're a service provider, you're a B2B business. One of the first things to do would be to have your VSL or your landing page in every single call to action that you mentioned. To a degree, you don't want to flood the social feed organically with that kind of salesy, join my thing and sign up to this landing page and click here kind of approach. Sometimes you want it a little bit more natural and a little bit more authentic than that. But if you include that in the bottom of your Instagram Reels and your YouTube Shorts and maybe your YouTube description and your LinkedIn page and your featured section on LinkedIn, chances are if it's there and people can bite on it, they're going to bite on it and you're going to get more people that are going to that specific link. And I guess this kind of opens up the conversation of, well, if you're a small business and you're B2B, chances are if you just have 5 to 10 clients. For example, if you had 10 new clients at $2,000 retainers a month, you have 20 grand a month coming in, you've got £240,000, you've got £250,000 a year coming into your business just from 10 customers. Let's say, for example, that you are a B2C or a D2C business and you sell a physical product to a broader pool of people, let's say like a ginger shot beverage, for example. You can scale this up massively. You can create a VSL or essentially an advert that you can run to a very specific audience through Instagram or Meta or Google Ads, etc. That ad or that VSL essentially steers people to the full website that then has the full VSL. So maybe it's just a snippet of it, just to get people curious and intrigued in clicking that link to go to the landing page. I'm getting a little bit strategic, but what I'm trying to say is you don't have to work as hard as you think you do and have to create as much content as you think you need to get the results that you want. You just need to work a little bit smarter and maybe have a bit more of a simple approach to how you create your videos in the first place. So I hope that's helped, and if it has, I pretty much extended this conversation in the Content to Clients workshop that is completely free for you to go and check out, and you also give you a bit of an example of a VSL and a landing page that kind of squeezes you into giving me your information, and some of you will then become a paying customer and give me cash, which is what I love. So click the link down below, download the Content to Clients workshop for free, just fill your email in, download it, happy days. There we go, mate. I'm Jack. I've been making videos for over a decade, and the goal with my YouTube channel is to help you create better videos for your business that actually get you customers and the results that you want. The way that you can do that, click this video right here. Check out this video next. It will teach you how to create better videos for your business as simply and as smart and as easy as possible. Go and check it out.